Hello everyone, and welcome to this EC Aquatics video. So this right here that I'm holding is a 6x6x6 container that I bought a while ago, and I'm going to turn it into a really cool shrimp tank. So as I mentioned already, this container is 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. It comes out to about 1.5 gallons or something like that. So too small for any kind of fish, but perfect for a couple of cherry shrimp. And I bought this thing at Michael's a while back, set up a little temporary Halloween aquarium that I dismantled very shortly after that video. But now I'm going to turn it into an Iwagumi style aquarium. So essentially what Iwagumi tanks are is they have a couple of rocks set in, usually in odd numbers, into the soil, and one species of carpeting plant planted around the rocks that grows on carpets. So usually Iwagumi tanks use aqua soil, but I don't currently have any, and it's also quite expensive to buy. So I'm going to use the substrate that I already have here, which is this just regular black sand, and I'm going to add it in so it kind of fills up about 1 inch or so, and then I'm going to add the rocks and then add in even more substrate. And then I'm also going to be adding in some root tabs as well in order to have the plants be able to grow. Now that that's in, I've got all these rocks over here, and I'm going to try and play around with a layout to get a couple of rocks in the tank, a layout that I like, and then from there I'm going to add more sand in to fill in the back section. That layout looks really good. I really like that with the big rock right in the middle and then 2 other rocks kind of as accents. And then back here you can see I filled in with a lot more sand as well to give it some height so that when the plants grow, it really gives it that sense of depth. Alrighty, so now that I've got all my hardscape and sand in, first of all, I'm going to add in a couple of root tabs. And what the root tabs do, as you can see these guys here, so this sand substrate does not have any nutrients in it at all. So the plants that I'm using, which are these carpeting plants, require nutrients from the soil in order to grow. So in order to give them those nutrients in an inert substrate, I add in root tabs, which are full of those nutrients so that they have enough nutrients to pull from the sand and are able to grow very well and quickly. Now for our plant species, I'm going to be using dwarf hairgrass. Dwarf hairgrass is by far one of my favorite carpeting plants. I found it very easy to grow and very easy to carpet. So it doesn't require CO2 in order to carpet, and it doesn't require really high lighting in order to carpet, which is great for this really low-tech setup. So, and tissue culture plants are grown in this little gel, and you don't really want that gel in your aquarium. So what I like to do is I like to take the plants and rinse them in a little bucket, rinse all the gel off, and then I can plant. And these plants like dwarf hairgrass, well, they come in a big clump. What I find looks better is if you rip them apart. So they should come like naturally in little clumps, little sections. If you pull them apart and you plant each section kind of individually, it spreads it out more and it makes a carpet much easier, and it makes one pot go a lot further. Alrighty, got all the planting done, and now I'm quickly going to fill this up and show you how all the plants look when the tank's filled up, because I think it's going to look a lot better once the tank's filled up. Alrighty, so there's the tank filled up. I've also moved it over to the spot where it's going to sit and popped a temporary light on it. I've ordered the light that's going to be sitting on it permanently, but it's not in yet, and I got the plants in, so I decided to set this up. It's only going to be a couple days with this little temporary light, and that'll be perfectly fine. I love the lightness of the rocks complemented with the dark gravel and then that bright green of the hairgrass. I think it looks really, really good. And you can see all that hairgrass popping up on the little area above. So this looks fantastic. I've tossed in some dechlorinator. Alrighty, so it's a couple of days after that last clip of me filling up the tank. And as you can see, everything is settling in well. I got another light. It's permanent light set up on the tank. And some of the dwarf hairgrass is already starting to grow, which is great. So hopefully we should be getting some carpeting soon. And then in the meantime, I added in a couple of tiny little snails from my other tank to just kind of start the cycle in a little bit, get some sort of bioload in the tank. It's not much, but as I see more snails from my more established tank, I'll pick them out and toss them in so that, in a couple of weeks, this tank will be cycled and I can add shrimp for it. So as that will be several weeks from now, that will be its own video. So if you want to see me buying shrimp for that, I haven't decided where I'm going to get them, if I'm going to get them from a local fish store or online or whatever, but it'll be a cool video nonetheless. So if you want to see that, then hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss that upload. So this is a very easy little project and doesn't take up a lot of space and is cheap. So if you are interested, doing something like that, I highly recommend it. Not going to cost you a lot and is a great way to set up a cool little shrimp tank in any little space that you have. I had all the stuff but the one pot of dwarf hairgrass on hand, but all in all, this tank shouldn't cost you more than about 50 bucks or so to set up. So very cheap, very doable. And the shrimp won't require a heater either if you keep your house nice and warm at, about 70 degrees. They'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, I really am very happy about how this tank turned out. And hopefully you all enjoyed, and hopefully this is something that you guys can replicate very easily. Very easy little setup. And in a couple months, once the carpet is really established, it's going to look even better than it does already. So thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you all in the next one.